What's up, guys? Happy Monday morning. We had a great weekend of football, but now we're getting back to it with the NBA. And I got a free pick and prediction for you on the Suns versus Wizards game. So let's take a look at two teams kind of going in opposite directions this year. We thought the addition of Russell Westbrook would be a boon to the Wizards, might move into the playoff spot. That has not been the case as the Wizards are currently last in the Eastern Conference at 2-8. It's been tough for them. Scotty Brooks on the hot seat, and rightfully so. He's not getting the most out of this team. And, it's really been tough for the Wizards so far this year. And they had some more bad news the other night. Thomas Bryant out for the season with an ACL. So, that was one of the reasons we thought Westbrook would do well there. Bryant should have been a nice pick and roll partner for Westbrook. They were just starting to form a little bit of chemistry, and it's gone. So, that's really tough for the Wizards here. Now, you look at the Suns team, this is opposite, right? Obviously, high hopes. The biggest offseason addition there with Chris Paul, and he's come in and he's done everything that has been expected for the team. They are in first place in the Western Conference, so they're in the first place in the tougher conference, and they've just been fantastic. 7-3 so far. Just great news for the Phoenix Suns and everything that they could have hoped for. Let's take a look at this game here. The line, 7, 6.5, right around there with the Wizards at home. And the total is 230. The total is what I'm going to be looking at today for the free play I'll be giving out because I am going over this total of 229.5 for 230. In the games they've played so far in the last two seasons, Washington, and they've played four times. Washington's averaged 131 points, and Phoenix is averaging 131 points. So for the last two seasons, they've averaged 260 when they've matched up. The most recent time was in the bubble in July, a 125 to 112 win. So this is why I'm looking at the over. The Wizards have been an over team, boy, for the last 2 years. I mean, we look at what they are doing right now. Their opponents average 122 points a game, one of the highest in the league. So this team is just a team that just does not play defense. So that's what we're going to attack. We're going to look to grab an over with the team that doesn't play defense here. Phoenix obviously can score, can put the ball up. So let's take a look at the rotations here. With the loss, so I'm going to have to speculate again. And the speculation didn't go well when I did the video for the Clippers the other night. So let's see how my speculation is tonight. I'm assuming that Robin Lopez moves into the starting lineup. When Bryant went out earlier, that's who took his place and got that majority of the minutes. Does that bother me? Yes, it does a little. It could slow them down, and he's offensively inept. I mean, watching him try to post up here like it's still 2009 has been rough to see. But that's who I think is going to get the bulk of the minutes. They're also starting Denny Avija, Rui Hashimura, Jerome Robinson, and Bradley Beal. Now, the game that I'm looking at, Beal didn't play, but I expect Beal to play tonight, and he's been putting up points. And then on their rotation, they'll bring Raul Neto and Ish Smith off the bench. And this is another reason why I like the over. These guys are not good defensive players, and they'll run these small backcourts. Ish Smith and Beal, that's too small, not good defensively. Raul Neto, they'll put all three of them out there at certain times. It's just too small. Players like Chris Paul and Devin Booker are going to go to town. Now, for the Suns, I have a much better idea of their rotation. They're going to start Devin Booker, Mikal Bridges, DeAndre Ayton, Chris Paul, and Jay Crowder. Boy, that's a great starting five. That's a great starting five. And so what I like what they've been doing is Booker usually comes out a couple minutes to go in the first quarter, and they stagger him with Paul. So they'll give Paul the early rest, and then Booker will come out. Paul usually comes out with about 6 minutes to go. Booker will go out 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Paul will run the show, and then they'll bring them back together around 8 minutes to go in the second, and then Booker will run the show for a little while, and then they'll close the half. And they do pretty close to that in the second half. So I really like what they're doing there, Monty Williams, with this rotation. I love the fact that Paul and Booker are getting staggered, and you watch them play together, and they've had a great chemistry already. That was kind of some of the struggles that Paul had with Harden on the Rockets 2 years ago, was they just weren't able to get the chemistry right off the bat. These guys have got the chemistry right off the bat, and it shows. in the way that they have been scoring points. Let's take a look at their last 5 games, and we'll go ahead and see another reason why I like the other. So Phoenix, their most recent game, they put up 242 on a game that was lined at 217. They had the night before, really weird loss. Only put up 215, went under a game that was 216 and a loss to Detroit that pretty much threw everyone off, but that's been the NBA this year. The game before that, they had an over. They put up 238 on a total of 219. The game before that, they went over. They put up 229 on a total of 215, and that was in a loss to the Clippers. And then a weird one because I would have, but it was New Year's Eve, 209 on a total of 220. So the over is 3-2 in their last 5 games. But boy, I mean that Detroit game probably should have gone over. That was kind of an aberrant result. And then we'll go ahead and look at Washington and these crazy numbers they've put up. They're sitting at 252 on a total of 226 in their loss against Miami. They put up 223, and that was their only under in the last 5, and that was against Boston the other night. Philadelphia, they put up 277 on a total that closed at 235. Against Brooklyn, they put up 245 on a total of 241. And against Minnesota on New Year's Eve, they put up 239 on a total of 234. So Washington is 4-1 to the over. And as you can see, some of the times they're just blowing these numbers out. That's why I really like the over here. I think it's the best play. Let's take a quick look at the side because I know some people will be curious about that. Phoenix 7-3 in all their games. On the road, they are 4-2 against the spread. They're 4-2 as a favorite, and they're 7-3 when 7-3 overall. Now we look at Washington 5-4 against the spread. We know they're only 2-8 total. 1-3 against the spread at home, so they've been doing better when they're getting those chunkier numbers on the road. They're 5-2 as an underdog, which makes sense because they've only been favored in one game. So Washington has been performing pretty well against the spread, but I think they put up a fair number here. You know, we talk about 7, even though it's not NFL, being a key number here, and that's what it's sitting at. You might get a 6.5. Do I think Washington can keep this close? Yeah, I do. So that's why that's a tough one for me to go ahead and take a stand on. I lead Phoenix, but you do not want to get in the habit of laying 7 on the road. Do I think they could blow them out? Yes. Do I think that Washington could stick around and get a backdoor cover? Yes, I do. So that's why I love the over as the play. I just think this game sails over. I think we could see 239, 240 points here on a total of 230. I think the line might be off by 4 to 5 points at least. I thought we were going to see 234 or 235. Really excited to attack what I think is a mistake that the books put up so far. I lean Phoenix here, but I definitely don't think it's the safer play. I think the safer play is going for the over. Russell Westbrook will be out again. So basically, guys, that's a quick breakdown on why I like the over. And one other thing to look at that I think is interesting. Teams have been coming down with COVID after playing Washington. Look at the COVID teams and look who's been playing Washington. Philadelphia, Boston. It's just been terrible. So, boy, if Phoenix has an outbreak tonight, this could be really something to keep an eye on here. So, hopefully everyone gets safe there. Hopefully that there will be no overs and COVID cases, only overs and scoring. I expect a scoring explosion. Big night for Devin Booker. You can go ahead and load up on these Phoenix Suns player props if you like. But my official free play for everybody joining us here from Run Pure Sports is the over 230. Try and grab a 229.5. I don't know if it's still around. It was hanging around at some points last night. 230. I think it's going to go up, so go ahead and grab it right away. But thank you guys for joining me on a quick breakdown. Any questions, you can go ahead and at me on Twitter, or if you're a member of Run Pure Sports, I'll always be hanging around the Discord. So thank you for joining us tonight, and Run Pure.